Hello, Miss Muji. My name is Dinda Nisa, and this is my final task poetry appreciation. So the interesting, including theme. This poem main themes include death, child labor, and the fragility of life. In this little poem, Robert Frost addresses the topic of child labor. Although the boy performs chores, he is still a child at heart. The poem's ending in a heartless, frightening, and cruel. People are unconcerned with the death of that boy. There are no sign of mourning or sadness in their face. They return to their work as if nothing has happened. Symbol. At the start of the poem, Frost described the sunset behind the mountains. This could be seen as a symbol that foreshadows the boy's forthcoming death. Figurative. Out by Robert Frost used several figurative devices employed to enhance the poem, such as metaphor, personification, simile, allusion, irony. The imagery in Out by Robert Frost uses various types of imagery such as visual, auditory, tactile, gustatory, olfactory, kinesthetic imagery. Structure. This narrative poem is set in one long stanza written in unrhymed iambic pentameter. In the absence of any formal rhyme, some rhyme can still be identified in the repetition of the words saw, hen, and boy, which are emphasized throughout this poem written in free verse. The extrinsic, the author background. Robert Lee Frost was born on March 26, 1874 in San Francisco, California. He was a noted and critically respected American poet of 20th century. The majority of his work had been published in England as well as America. He is still known for his realistic depictions of rural life and his command over colloquial speech. In the early 20th century, most of his work revolved around rural life in New England, which he used to examine complex social and philosophical themes. Childhood. Robert Frost was born to journalist father William Prescott Frost Jr. and mother Isabel Moody. After William's death in May 1885, the family moved to Lawrence, Massachusetts. Education. In 1982, Robert Frost graduated from Lawrence High School. Frost's mother joined the Swedenborgian Church and had him baptized in it, but he left it as an adult. Frost grew up in the city and he published his first poem in his high school magazine. Career. In 1894, he sold his first poem, My Butterfly, an Elegy, to the New York Independent for $15. From 1906 to 1911, he joined New Hampshire Pinkerton Academy as an English teacher and later joined New Hampshire Normal School in Plymouth, New Hampshire. In 1912, Frost sailed with his family to Great Britain in a small town outside London. In 1913, his first book of poetry, A Boy's Will, got published north of Boston in 1914. At the end, he became one of America's rare public literary figures, almost an artistic institution. On 29th January 1963, he died in Boston of complications from prostate surgery. He was buried at the Old Bennington Cemetery in Bennington, Vermont. Work setting. The poem was first published in July of 1916 in McClure's. It was later included in his collection Mountain Interval, published that same year. Out was inspired by the true story of a young boy, Raymond Tracy Fitzgerald, who died in an accident at a young age. It is generally thought that the title is an allusion to the famous line in Shakespeare, Macbeth, Out, brief candle, life but a walking shadow, a poor player. Critical perspective. J. Perini writes that however heartless this line have sounded to some ears, Frost is making a point about a way of dealing with grief by plunging back into the affairs of life, which demand attention, especially in the context of a poor farm at the turn of the century. The grieving family is able to work through their grief. Perini also notes that when Frost and his wife Eleanor lost their young son Elliot to cholera, they could not simply stop in their tracks. They had a 14-month-old daughter, Leslie, and chicken that needed tending among other demands. Number 2, elaborate the message of this poem. The message from Out is a powerful reminder of the transient and fragile nature of human life. It serves as a cautionary tale reminding readers of the unpredictability and sadness of death. Additionally, the poem explored the theme of human insignificance in the face of vast and indifferent universe, underscoring the emotional impact of the boy's death and the subsequent indifference of those around him. This is number 3. Create the poem that contains with the aspect of the following below, and I chose metaphor and personification. The title is Whispers in the Night. In the moonlight garden, a cat emerged as a graceful dancer, moving with the celestial elegance. Her coat shimmers like a stardust, her eyes hold secrets of ancient wisdom, and her paws leave trace of moonbeams. The cat's purr is a gently rhapsody, weaving a tapestry of comfort. Her whisker brush against the mysteries of life, attuned to the subtle vibration of the cosmos. She embodies the spirits of enigma and independence, whispering tales of freedom and adventure.